Okay, so let's start. Yes, so any question from others? Okay, so okay, तो start करते हैं अपन. Just wait, I will just confirm. Sorry, please join or not. Okay, so I think he is not available today.
Okay, then we can get it.
Okay, okay,
No, no, okay.
okay. So, so yes. So till now that we will discuss about that what is source code review, and also that we will discuss about that introduction to the web architecture and all this thing related to the web. Now today that we are going to start about that source code review, like how we can secure that the testing onto the code. So we will discuss that about the error handling and about the hashing also. Okay. So now, first of all, that now we are come on to that code level. So we need to just set up that environment to execute over that the code onto over that the local host server. So for that, first of all, that you just need to download that the XAMPP server and install onto your the system. Once you will download and install that, then you can just go on to the local disk C, and here it will create that the one directories for the directory name is a XAMPP. And in a XAMPP, you can just come on to the htdocs, docs, and here that we can create over that the all the files and all the vulnerable applications here that we can write that. So basically, this is that the localhost directory where we are going to execute over that the code on a local server. So here I will just create one folder. I will just this previous codes. Okay, so source code. So I will just give that the name as a source code, and also you require the one editor. Here we have that the Sublime text editor where we are going to the write it, the code and all. So here what we can do here, we will create one folder. So here that we can open this folder which we are create onto the htdocs docs, is all about the source code. Yes. Now here that we are going to that discuss about the all the vulnerabilities and all this thing are there. So the first thing that you will download at the XAMPP server, and second is any the text editor. So here we will download that the Sublime text editor, right, for to write at the code and all. So here that you can just write in the Sublime text editor. You will download any other also there. It's like a Notepad plus plus and all. So here we are going to use that the Sublime text editor. So the first vulnerability and the first issue that we are discussed today is all about the error handling and the hashing. So here that we can start from the basic code review testing and the secure that the code for the error handling. So the first of all, what is the error handling it is, and how it will use in that the code level and all. So basically that we can see error handling in any language is like in a PHP, is like in a JSP, is very simple. Basically that it will just give that the error message within the with the file name, line number, and the messaging which message which described is that the error which is sent to the browser. So in a browser we can say it will just displaying that the some type of the errors. And this errors is like related to that the code level issues will directly displaying onto that the browser. Now, when we are creating the scripting, like when developer will creating this type of the script, so in a web application, so error handling is very important part. Like if our code is lags over the error checking code and all, so in that case we can see or the code will look very professional, unprofessional. And also that we can see that the maybe it will open the many security risk. The security risk is like the attacker having the idea to perform and injecting some type of the issues in the code level, right? For example is like SQL injection are there, right? So just like that, maybe that the attacker will inject and perform any of that vulnerabilities and any of the issues are there. Or main thing is the attacker also having the idea about the application, like that what type of the server it will used by this application, what is the version are there, and which programming language it is used, like it is a PHP, it is like a JSP and all. Then later on, it will just easily create that the exploit for the relevant version which is found onto that the error handling, right? By using the error handling in a code level. So we have the different methods of that the error handling method that we have. So first of all, that we can discuss in that the PHP, like how we can secure that the code in the error handling in our the PHP. And after that, we are also come on to the JSP also. In a JSP that we are use a try catch exception handling for securing this type of the issue. So let's see that the how we can secure this type of the issues is more like about the error handling method. So the first thing is that we will use a simple die function, okay, in a PHP. So we will use simple die function that we are using. So die function is not prevention for the error handling. It will just skip that the error block. Maybe there are the some other type of the error. Sometime it will display. So simple that we can use a simple die function. And the second most important thing is that we are used at the custom error reporting. Okay, custom error reporting, or we can see that the custom type of the errors that we are using. So first of all, that we can see that about the error handling using the die function, right? So die function generally that we can use only in a conditional type of the statement. Like if we are used any conditional statement in a code level, then we are going to use this die statement. Otherwise, it will not. So in that case, if it is this type of the things are happening in a code level, so we are just going on to the error reporting. This is one of the best solution to hide the error from the web browser on our web application in the PHP. So if we are seeing that in the other language, which is like developing the object-oriented concept, so where we will use the try-catch exception handling that we will use, and basically, okay, yes. And basically these all are the inbuilt are there. Okay, so the try-catch exceptions are the inbuilt. In any of the code, we can see it is the inbuilt. So let's see how we will secure that the error handling code in our the PHP. So I will just write it the code in a PHP, and then we will understand that the line by line how actually that the code will work, and then we are going to secure this type of the issues. So error handling is nothing. It will just displaying that the error message clear text clearly in a browser. So with the help of this one, that the attacker have that the idea to perform the some type of the malicious action in the application. So here that we have this three type of the features. One is a simple die function that we are going to use. Second is that the error reporting, which is very important. And try-catch description is only is for the object-oriented based programming. It's like that the Java is like about the .NET and so on. So let's see how we can secure that the code. So first of all, that here I will just write that create that the one folder is all about that the error. And in error, we will create one file is index.php. So index.php is all the first file. Just remember that in any of the application, whenever you will see that the website, so index.php, index.jsp, index.asp, these all are the first file which is browser will point at. Like when we'll start any application. right? So the browser will start the index.php first, right? Index file we can say. It is also in a JSP also, it is ASP and PHP and .NET and all. So now let's see how that the actual code will work. So the first of all that I will just write that the vulnerable code. So here I will just try to open any type of that the file with the help of the some function, and let's open that the any file. Okay, any of the file that I'll just try to open, and basically this file is not existing into my system. So obviously it will throw the error, right? Because this type of the file is not exist onto my system. In order directory also you will see there is no any file which is name is a myfile.txt. So obviously it is throw the error. It will give that the error, right? So first of all we need to start the XAMPP server. So just download the XAMPP server and just install that and start these two services, Apache and MySQL. Once we'll start, now let's come on to our the execute this code. Okay, so it's RC code, and as you will see that this is our the error directory, and when we are click onto that, so here you will see it will show that the error is like warning about the f open, fail to open a stream, no such file or directory in this particular directory. So now from here you will understand that how this code is that the harmful, and it is very helpful for the attacker, because here you will see that first of all it will give that the warning. So from here the attacker have the idea that yes, in this code developer will try to open some type of the file, right? So now obviously there is a vulnerability that are related to the file, right? Which is like uploading that any file, or maybe that the attacker will try to access that the file. And when the attacker will try to access the file, so attacker will need the some specific path, right? Where actually the web server folder are there, where it is actually web server directory where the developer will store all the file. So here also you can see it will just see the visible the clear directory are here, right? So now attacker having that the idea of the complete directory of the file. Second thing is that the attacker having that the idea about that the yes, it will try to open some type of that the function, some type of that the file with the help of the fopen function and all. So now the first thing is that we will use that the die statement to hide this type of the errors. So what we can do, so instead of this that will print out the custom messages. So let's see how that we can prevent the user from this getting this error message. And what we can do that we can just print over the custom message. So here we are used at the die statement. So I will just comment this code, and then here if file exists. So file exists is the inbuilt function. Just check that the file is exist or not. If this type of the file is exists, then it will easily open that file. Okay, in a read mode that we are going to open this file, right? If it is the file are there. So if it is file, then we are try to open this file, right? If it is if this file are the available in the directory, then we will open this file. And if it is not, then what we can do that we will use that the die function for over the error message. Now here we will give that the print that the error, and here the file does not exist on the system or whatever it is, right? So here that we will use the die function. So now let's run that the code, and okay, so line number 7 that let me just check what is that the error, unexpected token else. all are good. Okay, okay, sorry. After that, the if we are just terminate that, semicolon is for the terminating. So again, okay, so now again it will give that the error. Uncode argument in a file. Okay, so where it is that I will. Okay, okay, okay. Yes, that is valid issues that I will. Right. Okay, so in a condition that will give the some extra argument, so that's why it will give that the. Okay, so here you will see it will give that the message the file does not exist, right? So here what we will do that we will just print the custom message, right? But the problem is that when we are use the code is something like about the database connectivity, right? Which is like try to connect this the code is simple for the file related thing are there or any type of the condition. Right now that we can just see that if the file exists, right? So if we have the any type of the conditional statement where we can see that yes that we are using a conditional statement this type of the thing, so in that case that we will use the simple die function, right? But if we have the situation is like that where we are just connecting through the database or where that we can see that like we have the some backend operations, so in that case we are not use the conditional statement like that if it is execute this query then it will execute this code, otherwise it will give this message and all. No, in that case if we have used this statement then obviously it is the backend part and it is the part of the database, so obviously it will give that the error. So in that case that we will use that the one good approach is that the error handling, custom error handling that we can use. It is known like about the error reporting or you can also see that the custom error handler. So this custom error handler you can use in a all situation like if it is the any file are there or if it is try to connectivity from the database and all. So the custom error handling is quite simple that we are just create a special function that is called when an error occurs in a PHP. So this function having there are some parameters so that we can just read from the PHP manual. So first of all that we are just come on to that the okay. So okay, so first of all that we are just come on to that the error reporting function. So basically it has kept that the five parameters, right? So we are just come on to that the error reporting and this is that the error reporting function that we'll see that. So now basically when we are see that the error, so in a PHP or any other language, we have the error is like that the notice error, we have the error like a warning error, and error like we have the fatal error. These three type of the errors generally that we have. So from here that we can see that these all are some messages are there like display error, report error reporting and all. So when we are come on to the error reporting, so in the error reporting that we have the some parameters are there. Let me just come on to the error reporting function. Yes, it is. So this is that the error reporting function, which you can just see that it is just set at the PHP error when we need to report the any error. So here you will see that the parameters. So parameters is like the we have the level of the error we need to define that, right? And other error are also there. Here it is. Okay, so here that you can see that the one is that the normal error, second is that the warning error, third is the parse error, and the fourth one is a notice error. This four type of the error generally that we have in any of the PHP code or any other code are there, right? So in programming in web development, these four type of the error generally that we have that you want to hide from the code. So in case if you want to hide all type of the error, then simple we are use the e underscore all. So e underscore all is for that it will hide the all type of the error from the browser. Now let's see that how we can use that the error reporting function to hide this type of the error. So the first of all you can see that we will just use the error reporting and zero to turn off all the error reporting. Okay, and if I will if we are not pass any number are there, so in that case what happen, it will turn on the all the errors, right? It will displaying that the all the error in that the browser. So what we can do that we just need to set up we just need to turn off all the errors from the browser. So we are just set that the error reporting to the zero, and then which type of the error that you want to report. So here we are just use the all type of the error, right? So here that we can just see we want to report all type of the error, and minus one it is only for the developer, right? Sometimes this type of the error will only understand and understood by the developer. So we are not going to the use this type of the errors. So instead of this that we are just use that the reporting all the PHP errors from the e underscore on. So now let's see that how these functions will work and how we can hide this type of the error. So the first of all that here in the code that I will just try to connect to the database, and then we are start to reporting that the error. And one more thing is that once that we can report that the error, so okay, I will just write it the code and then I will explain you that the other things. Okay, now index file that we are created. Now here I will create a one more file. Is name that I will give the error.php. All right. So now the first of all that we will just write that the vulnerable code for that, and then we will write that the secure code. So the first of all here, so let me just try to connect to the database. All right. So here, first of all, that we need to define that the our host name. So we'll define in a host variable, and our host is a local host. Then we'll define over the username. So username, which is over the root. Okay.
Mhm.
So yes, 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 yes.
Saurabh is also there, na?
Yes. Hello.
I think Saurabh is not there, na?
No, no. Saurav is not there. Saurav is someone traveling, so he will not join today.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay, so okay, so here that we are just created the database and also let me just check that is there what type of the database that we have. So I will just quickly check onto my PHP admin. So PHP admin where we are manage the all the databases, right? So basically right now we don't need to use any database. So I will just give any of the name because obviously we need that the error right now. So that's why, right? So here I will just give that the information and now let me just try to connect that. So what we can do now, uh, MySQLi connect, and to connect that, first of all that we can use that the host user is over the root password and then database. Okay, now if all information are correct, that means the connection is equals to true, then it will show you that the connected, or otherwise if it is any error, so it will we will just see it is not connected. And now let's see. Okay, so right now all the informations are the correct. So in that case, it will just show you that the connected what happened, the database is not start. Okay, so right now all the information are the correct. I think there are some issue with the database. So let me just check that is our database name. So I will just give that the users. Users is all the database here. So I will just give that the users are there. User is all the database. All right. Now let's execute this code and let's see that it will just give any error or not. So error.php. So as you will see, it will show you that the connected because all are the information which we are give to connecting to a database, all are the correct. So here it will show you that the connected. Now if I will give any localhost 1 2 root is the 3 and something like that, right? Which is having that the incorrect code. So if I will give the incorrect, and now if we are trying to open that, so now in that case, let's see that here we can see. Now in that case, it will displaying that the error is like MySQL connect, unquote MySQL exception and all. Now you notice that here I will use the conditional statement, but if I will use instead of the echo, and if I will use the die function as last that we will use that, so in that case it will hide the error or not. So see, in that case, die function will not work. And why it is not work? Because now it will try to connect to the data, connecting to a database. So in that case, die function will not work. So now here we are not use the die function. So in that case, what we are going to do that to hide this type of the error. Now we are going to use the error handling concept, right? For to hide this type of the error from browser, what we can do now, we are used at the error reporting function to hide this type of the error. So now, first of all, that we can start from the error reporting. So here that we can start the error reporting 0 to turn off all the error, right? And now which type of the error that we want to hide that. So for here, we will use that the ini function. ini set, and ini set is the inbuilt function, right? I will show you this one also because this thing we can also do onto the php.ini file. So in the ini file, we will set the error reporting, and here which type of the error that we want to hide that will hide all the errors, right? In a, and all the sorry strict errors. And in the ini, we will just set that the display error to off. Display error to off. And yes, now first of all, what is the ini are there? So ini is that the function which will work on to the php.ini file. This same thing you can also do without do the coding. without doing the coding, that you can just go on to the php.ini file, and then you can go here and you can just report all this type of the function. But we will not do that, because if we are use the php.ini, then it will implement the code in the complete server. So in that case, in server, if any other website are also running, so it will also impacted onto that. So in that case, this custom code we are use only onto the custom code, right? Here, if we are use the error reporting are there only in this server, so in that case we will use that. So this code is only for this src code web application that we have used. Notice that in the htdocs we have the e-commerce are also there, we have the source lab are also there, but this code is implement only this file source code. But if we are change on the php.ini, right? So in that case, this code will completely impact onto the all the server, which are all the application which are available onto the htdocs folder, right? And basically the php.ini file, you don't have to the permission to edit the things, changes are in the configuration file in the real time scenario. So that's why we need to know the manual thing also. But yes, if you have the access, then what you can do that, you can just come on to the configuration file is called the php.ini, and in this ini file you can just find that the code is for the error reporting function first. Error, see that. So here you will just set the display error to off, right? And error reporting are already there. Log error just set to the on. But right now I will not set to the off, because in case if I do that, so it will implement onto my all applications, right? So it will just testing, like suppose that if the developer will start to doing that, create the application, so in that case all time it will throw the some errors. So if we are doing this type of the things are there, so in that case the developer will not create the application, because when the developer start to create the application, so obviously it will come that the errors, right, before releasing. So this thing that we can implement after releasing that the application onto the server. So right now that we are not doing anything out there, so that's why here I will use the here we'll use the ini set. So ini set means that it will set from the ini function php.ini, and we are just reporting the all the error, displaying error to the off from the browser. And now if all are the errors to set to the off, then how the developer will see the errors? Like in case now developer will need to know that what type of the error it is, then how the developer will see the error? For example, like if we are refresh the application, so now it will, now here it will not displaying anything are there, right? So if in case if you are create the any custom code are also there, so in that case it will just display that like it is not connected at all. But the thing is that what, that all our errors are hidden from the browser. Now in case if developer want to see the what type of the error it is, then how the developer will see that the error, because this error is only for the developer. And if the developer is not able to see the any error, then how the error will resolve from the code level? So in that case, what we can do that, in that case for developer will create the error, will set the error in a log file. So again that we are come on to the ini set, and then what we will do that, here we will log error function to set to the on, and then we will just give that the path for the error log. So the path is that the goes on to the Apache directory. Okay, right now we are onto the CZAM, but in a real time that you have the absolute path for the Apache directory. Apache logs, and then error log that will generate that. Okay, here we will create the log file. Now where just refresh it, and now here first issue is resolved, that from the browser it will not display any of the error, right? So now what we can do, it will not display any type of the error. So to see that the error, what we are going to do that we are just create the one folder in Apache. In Apache that we have the logs file, and here we have the error for file. So here it will display all the errors. Okay, so our latest error will come at the end. So see that. See. So in today's date, last error is what? MySQL exception. In which line? In line number 6, error.php. Right? Here you can see the file is the error.php. In error.php, it will display the error. Right? So this is how that we can see that the error. This is how we can show that the error in our the log file. Right? So yes, here that we can see how that we can hide that the error from that the browser. So in a browser now the error is not displayed. Now in case if that the attacker in a real-time scenario, if having the situation like that the SQL database and all, where the attacker will give the any code are there in the URL like ID equals to 1, after that it will give the single quotes and whatever it is. So in that case, it is not displaying anything are there, because what we are going to do that we are just add the error reporting function. So what you will do that in a real-time scenario, or actual, this is that the code is for all the testing. It is part of the vulnerable code, right? So the secure code is only this one, error reporting, and then this is that the function. So in a real time that we can create the code in error.php file, and then whenever that we want to implement this type of the code, what we can do that we'll just use that the include function, and then we'll include that the file is called the error.php. Now this code will also impact onto this file. So normally developer will do this type of the things are there. Once that will identify that the any error, and once that we can modify that the code, so we'll just give the hint to the developer that you will use the error reporting function to hide the all the error from the browser. So yes, this is how that we can hide that the error. So right now that we are just see only in a PHP. So first of all, we'll discuss all the code are in a PHP, and then also that I will show you in the JSP also. Okay, first of all, that we can just familiar with that the code level, how actually the things will going on to the real time scenario. So yes, this is how that we can hide that the error from that the browser in a real time scenario in the PHP application. The thing is that we'll just use the error reporting function, and then we will use that the ini function. Then we can just set that, and we are generate the error in the log file. So yes, that's it for today, that we can discuss all about that, the error handling concept, how that we can resolve and how we can hide that the error. In the next class that we are going to discuss that about the password hashing, how we will use that the secure password hashing in our the code level, and which is that the secure hash for that, right? So that's it for today, that we can discuss all about the error reporting. Now, if you have any question, any doubt related to this one, then you can ask me.
No, all good.
Okay. Okay, so just go with that the code. I will share the notes file. In case if there's any doubt, you can bring me anytime. Okay.
Okay, fine.
Okay, welcome. Bye.